Now sometimes when it gets after dinner time and I'm looking for a little bit of a snack because I am a snacker. I am working on it a little bit. I don't like that fact about myself. Not that there's anything wrong with it if you're a snacker. I just think that right now, for me, it's not really working out like that way. But anyway, sometimes when I'm making a snack, I go, looking in the kitchen. I find this cabinet here. I think to myself, hell yeah, bro. So we're gonna make some. Here are the ingredients right here. These are all very cheap, very available. Flavacol isn't that available. I got that off of Amazon. It has 141 servings per container, and that's equivalent to about a cup of unpopped popcorn, which is a shit ton. Like, I could not eat that much in a day, probably. That is a ludicrous amount of popcorn. Now, I eat half a cup when I make this, which is that's a lot. Our equipment we'll find down here. We're not gonna find it down there. Ah, shit. Our equipment is in the sink. It's dirty. One sec. Hey guys, it's Chris from the future here. You might notice that I'm not using any soap to wash the dish that I'm going to use to make the popcorn in. This is gross, and you shouldn't do it. See, when you're the type of person who can keep up, continuously entertaining commentary, that's just what editing is for. We have our bowl. First ingredient is the oil, and we need to be really careful with the portion that we put in here. I like to go to about where the oil is just filling up the bottom, so maybe a little bit more. That's perfect. Actually, maybe I put a little bit too much in there. I'll just soak up a little bit like that. I know I'm wasteful. I live in America. That's like in the Constitution. You need to waste. It's a 1-to-1 relationship is the minimum of energy needlessly used between energy rightfully used. Let's see if I can get the piece of shit. I used to also use a measuring cup for the oil as well, but then that you actually need to wash, which, okay, I'm gonna need both hands. Let's see, is this a good angle for that? It's whatever. There we have it. That's enough salt to turn. It's enough salt to kill a child. Now, can you see the bowl? There's one thing I forgot to mention when I was fetching all the ingredients. It's another important part of this. It's tin foil. Tin foil isn't very reusable. It is if you're careful with it, which I'm not. Only important part of it is that you make a hole. Whip out our tongs. Medium heat. And you just start sort of mildly giving it a little bit of a nudge. Main thing you're avoiding is burning. So you just want to imagine, I don't know what you want to imagine, but you can imagine anything. That's like how your mind works. But just think of it as if you leave it for 1 second without moving it, it's just gonna completely be like a charred wasteland on the inside. You're gonna have to throw away the bowl and all that. It's gonna be awful. I just realized something. I end a lot of sentences by saying but, and then acting like I'm gonna say something else, but then it just, nothing ever happens. So sorry about that. There we go. Now it's starting to be interesting. I was worried popping. You want to get a little bit more vicious with your stirring. It's not called stirring. I don't know what they call this function. You may see some steam. I don't think you can see that. I want to keep it moving for a little bit after the heat's off, because when you think about it, killing the heat doesn't immediately start cooling down killing the heat doesn't immediately stop it from being really hot. The bowl, I mean, when I say it. Now, usually you can pick this up by the tin foil, because the tin foil is the bowl's pretty thick, so it can store a lot of heat in it. That's how physics works if you didn't take engineering. Also, this was not put on tightly by me. But the tin foil basically can deliver no heat. I mean, it can deliver a little heat, but only for like a second, and then it's done. So I'm going to move it over here. And you just wait for a little bit. And that's pretty much the entire video, so I don't think I'll talk any more than this. So, yeah. I guess there goes that tin foil. I thought it wouldn't be satisfying to not show the finished product, so here it is. It's very good. You'll just have to trust me. I'm gonna eat the rest of this off camera, so see you guys. It's a weird way to end it.